right? So now we have a picture of what the market looks like, but we don't have all of the information that we need. So we want to add on an additional layer of information. We want to think about what sort of infrastructure is needed for these transactions to take place. Because remember, even though these are our target market, if they can't sell to the wholesale agents, then they don't have work. So if this doesn't happen, our target market doesn't have any job. That's the reason we want to understand the whole chain, because this is a very important income stream for us. So what kind of infrastructure or services do the salt market actors need? So they need tractors, land, diesel. What else do they need?
Water pump. Water. You have already seen.
Yeah, water pump. I'll call it.
So some cannot use tractors. They can use cows and buffaloes instead of tractors.
Okay, so buffalo.
Warehouse.
Who needs the warehousing?
The some owners.
Needs a warehouse. Okay. I put that over here. Warehouse.
Warehouse and so the wholesaler agents they will need a boat for transportation.
Transport, definitely. Wholesale agents need transport.
Transport from the warehouse to the refines or your wholesaler's place.
So really, transport of a whole bunch of kinds. Transport is important all the way through, right? Okay. Oh, what are the finance issues at the bottom level?
They need money for the labor and also for the making
The salt farm owners?
the farm.
Also they need the money to keep them longer, to store the salt longer.
Right, so they need like a bridge loan, is kind of, I don't know what else to call it, but a loan that keeps them going, operating expenses.
2 months.
And they also borrow, don't they? There's a finance, they get a salary advance, right? Advance from them. Now, I bet there's a finance issue somewhere around here too, but we don't know what it is yet, right? So, financing up here is a question mark. Okay? That's one thing we still have to ask about when we talk to the wholesalers and the wholesaler agents. But there's also a point that you have to decide, we don't need that. That's too much information. We don't need every single little possible piece of information. We just want the big picture, right? So that's something you just have to decide for yourselves. What is the most useful information that will help you do your programs well, and what is just nice information to have? So let's also think about some of the sort of institutional issues, is what I'm going to call them. Some of the, are there permits that are required? Are there, things that aren't, it's not a good or a service, but it's something that affects the environment in which the business operates.
So they need a license for once a year.
Okay, so license. What about things like taxes? Are there taxes?
When they make the license, they have to pay the tax at the same time.
Okay, so we think there are no policy issues, but we can always ask. Right. What about the issue of, I mean, maybe this is at the next level, but what about the issue of official exchange rate versus sort of non-official exchange rate? So wouldn't that be here if they have international contracts?
If they have international contract, there will be some issue between importing for exportation. There will be. Yeah, no?
Now, if you look back at the picture I showed you originally, you can see it's much prettier than our picture. So this is the moment that you would normally take a new piece of paper and try to put the infrastructure below, the policy stuff on the top, and the actors in the middle. And that's just for organization and to make it clear to other people when they want to read it, when they want to look at it. This can be a good way to show before Nargis, the volume produced was this, and now it's this. So you could do one map that shows before, and one map that shows after. The reason you're doing this is so that you can explain to the country director, or the donor, or Nirvana when she comes back to visit, why did you do this? Why are we working with this? Because if I say we provided financing to the wholesalers so that we could help these guys, some people will go, that's crazy, what are you talking about? But when you look at the whole system, it starts to make sense. Okay, thank you everyone, thank you very much, especially for sitting in the heat.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you very much. Yeah.